It's your favorite coach's favorite coach, and in today's video we're going to talk about probably the most enigmatic draft prospects in this year's draft, and that's Goga Bitadze. If you're not familiar with him, he was the guy in that picture with Zion Williamson that went viral where everybody's at Zion's booth and none of the media personnel, nobody's there interviewing Goga. It's a hilarious picture, but this guy has potential to be a major bust, something similar to Dragon Bender, or he can prove to be a modern center in today's league. The best case scenario for this guy is Nikola Jokic. And just from watching a little bit of game film and watching how his team utilized him, it's easy to see the similarities. His club runs that handoff rescreen action for him, just like the Nuggets spam for Jokic. Except instead of shooting threes, he slips to the basket and utilizes his athleticism and size. He also seems to be a willing and creative passer like a lot of these European players. And while he has a high turnover rate, he could easily develop into a great passer, just like Jokic. There's also footage of him shooting threes and he looks pretty damn good. And with centers in the playoffs, like Brook Lopez, Joel Embiid, and of course Nikola Jokic, that seems to be the big trend in the NBA right now. But I'm a major fan of the handoff rescreen action. It has a very similar effect to the weave action made famous by the 2016 Golden State Warriors. Except instead of using 3 players, all you need is 2 players, a big who can shoot and a point guard, and it creates a lot of easy scoring opportunities because it takes 3 players to defend and only 2 players to run. And this is because the third defender is going to have to show to potentially tag like they would on a pick and roll. And any screen action involving a post who can shoot and a point guard will create potential mismatches on the perimeter or inside. But this guy definitely has a feel for the game and a nose for the ball. He's a great offensive rebounder and a good rebounder in general, which to me is a good indicator because he seems to understand positioning on the floor as opposed to just getting his rebounds based on his superior height. He's absolutely going to have to put on some weight and some muscle mass, and he's not a fabulous athlete by any stretch of the imagination. Goga has also drawn comparisons to Jusuf Nurkic. However, I don't think he has the frame to get as big as him, and Nurkic is definitely not a three-point shooter. Shout out to the great channel Scouts Honor for putting me on the footage of Goga knocking down threes with a nice and comfortable looking stroke. But anyways, he seems to be a good, willing passer, not at Jokic's level. But if you're trying to predict the trajectory of a good young passer, they're going to start off turnover prone. And that's because their skills haven't caught up to their creativity. Like we say at Courtical Hoops, sometimes the difference between a great pass and the worst pass I've ever seen is a thin line. But the fact that he's a good passer at that level shows that he has a lot of potential. However, for every great European prospect, there's a Nikolaj Skidisvili, Sharko Shabarkaba, guys who are following a trend, going to be the next Dirk Nowitzki prototype. So Goga could definitely be the next one in that line. Again, we will not know until we actually get to see this guy play in the NBA. I think a lot of the success of any prospect is due to their fit on their team and what organization they're drafted to. Luckily for Goga, he got drafted by the Indiana Pacers, a team that, unlike the Lakers or the New York Knicks, actually focuses on developing young talent. So this is why Goga is such a fascinating prospect. He can go either way, but I'm going to bet on him having a successful NBA career. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below, and we'll see you on the next one.